everybody, it's Dara, and it's another beautiful day in sunny Southern California. It's almost Valentine's Day, and I am here making these little Valentines. Can you see? I sit at my little desk and I watercolor, I color. I do 10 minutes of writing each morning, just so you know, kind of like in The Artist's Way, the book The Artist's Way, or I studied with Natalie Goldberg, who wrote an amazing book called Writing Down the Bones. She wrote a lot of books. I did a writing workshop with her. And writing for 10 minutes straight without our pen leaving the paper lets us get out all of the static that is cluttering, that could get in the way of good writing or in the way of creative thoughts. So I do 10 minutes of stream of consciousness writing, and I'm going upstairs to deal with all of the gorgeous greens that I have collected over this past week. I'm going to use what I purchased first. So I'm going to put everything out on the counter, and then we're going to see what I make with it today. So a beautiful raw food, a day in the raw food life, something like that. Let's come up with a name for these videos that have snippets of the day. But for now, I've had a tonic, I'm going to take my supplements, and then make some food upstairs. So join me in the kitchen. Okay, here we are. It's Gage. You didn't know you were going to be on. He's just minding his own business. We're on camera, so Gage is my assistant, and many of you have seen him many times before. Especially in our extreme sport decluttering. For those of you who are living with clutter, please check out our decluttering videos, because letting go of clutter will change your life. 9 things right now in a bag. Open up a drawer, get rid of 9 things a day. It'll change your life. As within, so without. So if we're living with clutter, we can't think clearly, and it's a reflection of what's going on inside of us. So it works both ways. What is in our home affects us, and what's going on inside of us affects our home. So we want to be clean, clear, and bright. That actually is very applicable, very appropriate to what I'm doing right now. I love to collect vegetables and greens and fruit, and sometimes I have what is called food pressure, because all of a sudden I have this gorgeous food and I better do something with it before it goes bad. So what we did right now, and I'm sharing the inside scoop with you, is we took everything out of the refrigerator to show you what I got, what I have, what I'm going to do with it. There were a couple of wilted things that had to go, but very few. I've been in a good rotation in the kitchen. So what that takes is emptying out the refrigerator and deciding. And there's some beautiful things you can do with fruit that's maybe going. And so, for example, I have strawberries, and these are gorgeous strawberries that I got at the farmer's market. The strawberries do not last for a long time. So there's a couple things we can do, right? You use them in smoothies. You'd need to use them right away. We can make a jam with strawberries and dates and chia seeds and blend them up and have a jam, and that would be a lot of jam. We could slice these and put them in the dehydrator. That's another way to make a jam. If you do use dehydrated strawberries with some dates, you're gonna get, a thick jam. So that might be something I'd like to do. I haven't dehydrated strawberries in a long time. We can also cut the tops off or cut them in half and freeze them to use for smoothies in the future. So these won't go to waste. So that's something interesting. Another thing I'd like to share with you is if you have an abundance of something, let's say strawberries are in season, somebody's giving you boatloads of strawberries and you're really not sure what to do with them. Google raw food strawberry recipes and see what comes up. You might be surprised with a strawberry soup. Or, very, very exciting for us in the world of vegetables, I used to always use the Flavor Bible, which had meat and fish and all kinds of things in it, and now we have, this is new, the Vegetarian Flavor Bible. So if you want to get inspired of different herbs to use with different things and to see what flavors go best with certain foods, why reinvent the wheel? It's here. So you may have inspiration on your own, but you can also get inspiration. So strawberry ice cream, strawberry sorbet, exciting. So there's a lot of ideas you can get from the Vegetarian Flavor Bible. So that's the strawberries. So I'll decide what to do with those in a little bit. Oldest to newest. These, believe it or not, are old, and they don't look old. Dandelion greens are hardy, so they don't wilt as quickly as spinach or herbs do. So I'm a huge fan of dandelion because dandelion will help our bodies remove heavy metals. Heavy metals can come from old lead pipes, paints, mercury fillings. We want to get those removed because there's no point in chelating or taking out heavy metals if they're coming out from our teeth and traveling through our body. So we want to get out the mercury fillings if we have them. It's a process, but it's a worthwhile process. So dandelion greens will help pull them out. They also come from, heavy metals also can come from deodorants that have aluminum in them. Or a lot of people are cooking with aluminum foil or cooking in aluminum pans or drinking things out of aluminum cans. Not good. Okay, so this will help us get rid of the things that we've ingested unknowingly, unwittingly. And what do I do with dandelion greens? That's easy. Look up my One True Thing green soup recipe on the channel, and I put dandelion greens in there. They're bitter, but they're so good for us. And I will chop these into a salad. You can juice them. So this will make it into something today. Parsley, really good for our breast, good for, can you check to make sure it's, is it recording? And the sound is good? Does it look like the sound's going? Mm-hmm. Can you check the batteries there to make sure it's on?
Yep.
Okay, I don't want to lose this information because I'm on a roll. So parsley is lovely if you're making a chopped salad. Little bits of parsley in something that needs a green. Cilantro is another beautiful herb that I use all the time in my soups, and it's also really good obviously for guacamole. You're going to chop this up, and this also pulls out the heavy metals. So I totally misspoke. Dandelion cleans the liver. Cilantro pulls out the heavy metals, but dandelion will clean the liver. I can't believe I just went on the whole thing. I went on the whole thing about heavy metals, which we don't want in our body. Cilantro will pull them out. Dandelion is going to clean the liver. Had too much fatty liver, too much fats, if we've had too much alcohol, if our livers have been overtaxed by prescription medicines. We want a healthy liver because that is our body's filter, right? So let's help it along with the dandelion greens. I wonder how many of you caught that while I was saying it. We make mistakes. We leave the mistakes in because everybody makes mistakes. It's what we do with our mistakes, you know? So I remember I used to always say that in the beginning videos. One mistake a video is ideal. So we have cilantro, and I have a lot of gorgeous avocados. So this looks like this could be, part of this will go to a little guacamole to serve on the side of a salad or on a flax cracker. And you can also take, get this, you could take avocado with cacao and agave and a little salt and a little vanilla, blend it, and have a gorgeous chocolate pudding. So that could come up today and serve strawberries on top or a strawberry jam. We have sprouts. These have to be taken out of the bag because they're moist, and moisture inside the bag is what will wilt your vegetables. So air is good, moisture is not. So what my mom used to do is she put a paper towel in there. What I do, since paper towels are usually bleached, is I'll put a towel, a real towel, inside and keep it dry. More sprouts. Mung bean lasts longer than alfalfa. So mung bean are also really easy to grow at home, like growing little babies. You take a glass jar, you rinse the mung beans, you soak them overnight, and then for a couple days you just rinse and drain on the side on the dish rack and let the moisture drain out in a somewhat sunny area, and they'll start to, look at me with my hand, they'll start to sprout, and you grow these little babies with tails. They're so filled with protein and chlorophyll. So if you are living in a winter or cold environment and it's hard to get organic things with chlorophyll, right, we can grow our own mung beans. So you can Google search how to do sprouting. Really important. Sunflower sprouts have to be grown in soil, so that's not so easy. But alfalfa, broccoli, radish, mung bean, all of those can be done right by your kitchen sink. And you put it, it's great, you get a dish rack, and so the jars are on an angle and it drains right into the sink. We have mint. I don't eat mint. It's a bummer. I was told I was allergic to it. This mint looks old. It's gonna go. Bye-bye. We have chocolate sauce that I made that's kind of hard. It's like a chocolate fudge, and this did not go bad. This will last at least a month. It's just coconut oil, agave, cacao. That's it. Pinch of salt probably. Usually I put vanilla with chocolate, maybe not. But this is like a fudge. So let's say you were in a pinch and you're freaking out because you need a bite of chocolate. There you go. Little teeny spoon. I like to put herbs in my chocolate. You can put reishi. You can put chaga mushroom. So this is a nice thing to keep on hand. This also will, if I double boiled it on the stove, meaning I really just set this into a pot with water and I warmed it up, the coconut oil will liquefy and I will have a hot fudge sauce to pour over something. That's really nice to keep in the refrigerator. I have some other things. I have some of my cookies that are left. They're still good. The sugar cookies I made lasted a long time. The icing, I had made too much icing and the icing got kind of clumpy. So we're kind of heating it up and seeing if we can liquefy it. I have beautiful almond flour. Now how this was made, this will last, it's been a couple weeks already and it's totally fine. This almond flour was made from almond pulp. And the almond pulp is had from the almond milk. So basically, I have a recipe for almond milk on the site, but I'm going to explain it to you again because it's really good to make your own almond milk. Protein, it's fresh, it's delicious. There's no carrageenan like in the boxed almond milks that are usually not organic and they're slightly pasteurized and you're not getting living food from them, living enzymes. So when I make almond milk, I take organic, raw, truly raw almonds, soak them for 8 hours at least. Then rinse them, drain them, put them in a high performance blender with double the amount of water. Makes it a thick almond milk. Then I strain it through a nut milk bag so the milk goes in the refrigerator and the pulp that's left over is moist. I put that in the dehydrator, dehydrate it. Then I give it a spin when it's done, when it's dry, in the food processor and I end up with a flour. Now you can buy almond flour, but I don't know that it's going to be raw and sprouted almonds and that it will be organic. That's the most important thing, raw, sprouted, and organic. So when you make it at home, now you get to use this in all kinds of things. So the Linzer cookies that I'm going to make in a recipe coming up will be using the almond flour. So if you can, go ahead and either buy some from Divine Organics, and theirs is purely white. It looks like their almonds were blanched. So if you wanted this not to be a light brown, you would peel the almonds after you soak them, and then make the almond milk, and then you do it one step further. It's a little extra work, but this is just the almond flour, and that will be used for cookies, for donut holes, it gives a light and fluffy, while cashews are kind of oily and heavy, and macadamia nuts, walnuts, pecans, those are oilier nuts. This is a lighter, fluffier nut. Here is almond pulp. This is the pulp that I was referring to. Now almond pulp will not last. If it's dried, it will last longer. Almond pulp, let's see, how long will that last? Probably like 3 days. Won't go longer than about 3 days, right?
3 or 4 days.
3 or 4 days. This has been 3 or 4 days and it's still very fresh and it's moist. And technically, this should be used in something today. Either dehydrated for future use, so I can add it to my container, or I could make donut holes, meaning I would mix this with cacao and vanilla and salt and some kind of dates and then form balls, and then it would be dehydrated and it would be lovely. So there's choices. There's so much you can do and nothing goes to waste unless you just don't succumb to your food pressure and your food goes to waste. But you gotta be in the flow of knowing how to, the reason I'm showing you how to do this is that I want you to be able to use your reasoning and flexibility when it comes to food. So that's what I have going on here. I made too much of this Linzer cookie jam the other day, and I believe that this is still fresh. This is like weeks ago. I'm gonna taste it. Totally fresh. I should not have double dipped it. I barely did. Anyway, second mistake. But this is blueberries, chia seeds, dates, lemon juice, salt. It's pretty thick. It's an inside for a Linzer cookie. It came out a little bitter, and I think it was too many chia seeds, so I would like a do-over on this one. I can make a strawberry jam with the strawberries. I might do that. So that might be a video coming up. So there you have it. If I really wanted to make something quickly right now, which I do, I have the chickweed that I got at the farmer's market yesterday, for those of you who saw the video. It's kind of like corn silk. It's a lovely green, and I have romaine. I could chop that up with some cilantro, some mung beans, mix up kind of like a chopped salad, some lemon juice. I have a habanero. Okay, so I'm going to chop up the chickweed, chop up the romaine, throw some mung beans, mix it up with avocado, make like a salady guacamole with some habanero, and then I'm going to put that on the inside of a paleo wrap. These are really nice to keep for emergencies. Gluten-free coconut, it's just coconut, it's a wrap. So if you didn't have a dehydrator and you can't make these at home, it's a great idea. So I will put that in there. I'm going to do that right now. So I can either keep the camera running. For those of you who would like to shut the camera off, shut the video off if it's too long, you can do that, but I'm going to go ahead and make this wrap and show you how easy it is to creatively and wholesomely sustain ourselves on a raw food diet, a whole food plan. So the thing is, when you're feeding more than one person, I'm going to have my dad over for lunch later, you think bulk, you think fiber, you think nuts, you think filling. Oh yes, I forgot to show you. These are very exciting. Sesame, this is pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, and I soak them for 4 hours, rinse them, drain them, and then I mix them with cayenne, garlic. I used a little bit of sweetener, could have been honey, could have been maple syrup, pepper, and salt, and then I dehydrated them. So I have these crunchy, flavorful seeds, and this could certainly be sprinkled on top of the paleo wrap. But when I'm feeding people who might be hungry, or more people, you think fiber, you think bulk, you think how can I, satisfy? And so fiber will do that, nuts and seeds will do that, avocado, more fats. But of course, if you're feeding somebody who's fruitarian, you don't have to worry about the nuts and seeds and fats. You just feed them a lot of fiber, a lot of carbs. So I have my bowl. I'm going to do a bottom of the bowl thing. I'm going to put all of my salad ingredient, the dressing ingredients at the bottom. This is beautiful. And so we can mix with just a fork. No fancy equipment needed for this. If you don't have paleo wraps, then you can go ahead and use red cabbage, which I have as boats for this beautiful chopped salad. Or collard greens. There we go. I also have cranberries that have lasted forever. Cranberries can be blended in your food processor with dates, and you'll have a cranberry sauce to use as a side dish. Look up my Thanksgiving recipe for Thanksgiving video for cranberry sauce. So I am going to put some lemon. And this is like the longest video ever. Some of you will like it, some of you will want to move on. But this is real. This is what I'm up to. I need salt. Wherever the salt is. There it is. Okay. So, some salt. We definitely want some spice in this one. We want flavor. That's what I'm looking for today. I want to have some serious burst of flavor. A lot of times I keep things really simple, just with a little salt, lemon juice, maybe a little garlic powder. Sometimes it's nice to just have punch. Perfect. It's perfect. Now, how do I handle the habanero when I'm not blending? I take another little cutting board and I cut it separately. I make sure I don't touch my eyes. I make sure I wash my hands after I handle the habanero. And I cut out the seeds. I don't want the seeds in it. Okay? Then I just chop it up really fine. I have a beautiful new knife I'm very excited about. It's my special knife. You want a knuckle. And now it's hard with something small, so you do the best you can. And we're going to cut it really finely. Ideally, you're going to really blend just a little bit into your little mini food processor. I could have made this dressing in a little food processor. We want to ensure that nobody's getting like a massive bite of habanero. That would be mean. But I think I can manage chopping it finely. And if you don't want to do this, then you're going to go ahead and just use some chili flakes or cayenne. But I'm in the mood for the real thing, the real fresh thing. I haven't used this in a while. I went through a kick where I used habanero every single day. So, Age, are you bored?
No.
Okay, not bored. Never could be boring around here. There's always something to do. How's the icing?
Good. Really pliable.
Is it pliable?
Yeah.
Can I see it? It got really crumbly, so it was really hard to place onto the cookies. The icing, I want to show them the icing for the cake that I did. We have the icing in the refrigerator. Oh, these are gorgeous. They came out beautiful. Oh, don't touch, they're soft.
Or that habanero.
And I have habanero. Someone's going to get a spicy cookie. This is smart. Anyway, nice. It got all soft again. So how he got it soft was he put it on the stove to kind of warm it up, because the coconut butter really solidifies. But I would like to show them, if you care to, the icing. And I'd like some cumin. What do you think, some cumin, cardamom? What do you think about that for this?
Okay.
Yeah. This is real. I'm not going to use the whole habanero. That would be like crazy. Great crazy, unless I use a lot of sauce. I'm having fun today. I'm telling you, the produce can be so much fun. Like, it just brings out creativity, because there is no set can of something. There's set, like, it's just not a set thing. Produce is always changing, and something new is available. And okay, in goes. I'm gonna save that aside. I'm gonna put in some shallots. I'm going crazy with flavor. Cardamom?
Yeah, I don't see cumin.
No cumin. That goes on my lips. Whenever I realize I need something from the market, I just write it on there, and then before I go to the market, I take a picture of my whiteboard. We have cumin. We have cardamom. Okay, this is the icing. It's so gorgeous. I just want to tell you what's in it. Oh, cashews, agave. All like the bad, it's like the raw food, junk food, but sometimes it's just you need a little icing, and cashews will do it. So cashews, agave, vanilla, pinch of salt, water, a little lemon juice to give it like a cream cheesy kind of frosting flavor, and it works. Did I put anything else in it? No, it's so simple. So Shallots are a milder kind of onion, softer. And so beautiful. The food is just so, it's so beautiful. And if you are what you eat, and you eat this food, you're pretty beautiful. Beautiful colors, beautiful smells. I think one day I'll make a video. I never talk about the why nots of other food, but I could give you a lot of why nots. And if you know the why nots of certain things that most people are eating, you probably won't eat them again. I try to stay positive. I don't want to start talking about all the bad things, but believe me, the things that get stuck in your body, we want things to move freely. We want the chi to flow. We want the food to flow through, the nutrients. We don't want anything getting stuck. This is magnificent. So, this could be a great Valentine's. You see all the hearts behind me. Valentine's Day is on Saturday. This is a great Valentine's meal because, maybe leave out the onions, but it's a great Valentine's meal because you're feeding yourself and someone you love food that will create life and energy. Nothing that will slow you down, if you know what I mean. So we have lemon juice. I'm going to just mix it up. Now we have the citrus, the brightness. We're going to need a little bit of something sweet. We have choices. Dates, raisins, maple syrup, honey, not vegan, but honey. Little agave is the easiest, fastest way. It's not the best, but a little bit goes a long way. Coconut nectar, that will work. Coconut nectar from the sap of the coconut. More salt. We're going to need another avocado. Gorgeous avocados. And so, it's not only what we eat, it's what we tell ourselves about the food. How do we feel when we're making it? Wow. We want to feel happy. We want to feel guilt-free, I think. I think when people eat food, I shouldn't eat this. Like, eat it and be happy or don't eat it. Because how you feel when you're eating your food makes a difference in the digestion rate. This was very right. So we want to not eat when we're stressed, we want to eat when we're happy. And the energy in which we put into the food with love is how we want the food to be received. Okay? So good. Spicy, flavorful, gorgeous. Now, the chickweed can go in. I didn't cut the cilantro, we want that. A good knife. I'm making a fine knife here. Normally I clean up in between everything, but I'm making a video and I don't want to keep you guys waiting. Spicy. Spicy is good. Gets the metabolism going. Gets rid of viruses and bacteria. You eat spicy food and keep you thin and active and not sick. Okay, we got a lot of cilantro. Mix. It's like a cilantro chickweed mash. So good. And I like it because we're getting a lot more fiber than we would if we just had guacamole. The heat is perfect. Very exciting. I didn't tell you what else was in. There's a lot in my refrigerator. It was like the Mary Poppins bag of refrigerators. The other day I made a pate with mustard. So that could go a little bit as a spread in the paleo wrap. Now I have so many pates, I think, recipes up on the channel, but the two things I need to do next are make this pate again because it was amazing, or just give you the recipe, and then you'll know how to make it too, but you can put any pate in a paleo wrap. So, we have a plate, we have our wrap, we have a new spoon. I think I'll put a little bit of the pate. If you don't have the pate, don't worry, but I don't know, just adds a little something. Okay. We'll put a dollop of this. And I could put sprouts, I could put, we definitely want a sprinkle of sprouts. And I want some seeds. I'm pretty happy with this. And then you just roll it up and you eat it. And then we can end this video. I love you guys so much. I want you to get... Oh, I'm so happy. I found out when I finished that the camera stopped, and I thought maybe I didn't record half of this, but I did, and I'm so happy about that. I have a fine and gorgeous mess here. Absolutely gorgeous, which is fresh scents of cilantro and parsley and sprouts, and I'm so excited to serve this to Gage. I am so excited to eat one myself. So I don't know if I said this before, but I need a little red on top. You could put a little tomato sauce. There's 3 things I want to make on the channel. Maybe we can make a note of this. Okay, I want to make, what did I say so far? I want to make a hot sauce. I want to make a tomato sauce to drizzle, to keep in the refrigerator, to drizzle on things. That's nice to have, to get a little red sauce. You can put chili flakes on top, or crushed or a little red pepper. I'll remember what I wanted to make in a little bit. The pate I want to make for you. There was a dessert I needed to show. The Linzer cookies, and I want to make a hot sauce. So somebody remind me. But anyway, this is really exciting. Just wrap it up and eat it. I really, really want to encourage you to get your greens on. It doesn't have to be all of your diet like I do, 100%. But adding greens and this fresh food into your diet will change your life, just like decluttering. So get your greens on, get your decluttering on. Happy almost Valentine's Day, and I will see you guys really soon.